Absolutely beautiful astrology soulmates. It's me, Stormy Grace, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for the week of December 16th, where this week it's cool. We've got this transition between fire and water and the earth signs. We've also got this energy where we're coming just fresh off of this full moon, off of Mercury coming direct. So it's still picking up speed and getting back in its orbit. Mars is retrograde, right? So we've got a lot of energy that we're going to culminate this week with not only bringing in a new season to go woof, but also a last quarter moon to tie up loose ends, bring things to a close as well. So it's a pretty dynamic little week that we have got on our hands, and we're going to talk all about that. Before we do, I want to remind you of your astrology resources that are available to you. First of all, that digital transit calendar from our friends at Wise Skies Collective 2025 version is available. You can get a discount using my code in the description box down below. And if you've never seen the digital transit calendar, it is so cool. You can log it right into your calendar. And the way I love to use mine is it's integrated with my calendar. So as a transit is happening, I can see them, first of all year. And it helps me keep track of the astrology. But also when I'm out and about, my favorite reminder it sends me is when the moon is going to go void of course. 30 minutes before the moon is going to go void of course, it sends an alert to my phone and I go, okay, this is the universe telling me I have permission to put down what I think is so important right now and actually take a moment to rest, to breathe, to slow things down, to not need to move some things forward, to just really focus on finishing where I'm at, come back to my breath. And that may sound like some very woo-woo, poo-poo, but let me tell you what, we are adults, y'all. We are adults, and the universe is kind, and I don't know about you, but sometimes I forget that, and a little reminder coming in my phone in the language of astrology, which I love and receive easily, that is really helpful to me. So it's an astrology tool and resource that I offer out to you as well. Now, if you're ready to go beyond that and you want to speak the language of astrology, but you know that you are either just now learning or there are holes in your foundation, which I often find when people come to my classes, there are holes in the foundation. That's why you're not quite able to bring things all the way together. My Astrology 101 Part 1 and Part 2 courses, the foundational courses, are available and still on sale for $67 each until January. So if that is you and you want lifetime access to learn that, to make sure your foundations are solid and then build upon them, go ahead, click down below, take absolute advantage of it, okay? All right, beautiful friends, let's get into our quote of the week. Balance is not something you find, it is something that you create. I love that. I love that. Okay, here is our question of the week. How can you align your emotions and your actions to create stability and harmony in your relationship and your goals? This is something to slow down and review this week. And I don't know about you, but have you been having this experience? What it's been like for me is being between the Mercury and the Mars retrograde. It's like the energy is just so slowed down. It's not about let's go forward, let's go forward, let's go forward. It's about I need to finish what's here. I just actually need to be finishing. I'm rebalancing by clearing away what needs to get finished. I'm working only with what I have. I'm not really creating anything new. It's only the finishing. And as I do that, I'm finding a lot more peace as opposed to trying to shape something into a new project going forward. So what about you guys? How are you experiencing that? That when I'm trying to go forward too much, I feel like a piece of me is floating up in the sky and the other piece of me is maybe down here. It just is like not connected. But when I go back to old things and I'm taking it nice and slow and putting a new strategy, then I feel a lot more integrated. So let me know how this is feeling for you in the comment section down below. Okay, heading into Monday, our moon day, we are coming in with the moon in the vibration of Cancer, so in domicile. It is comfortable. It is also going to trine Saturn and Pisces as it continues to travel through the day. So as we're coming in on Monday, first of all, we're coming in with this idea of nurturing, right? A powerful energy of nurturing. How do I nurture myself? Is my self-care taken care of? We've come out of a lot of energy just on Sunday, so rolling into Monday, it's like, we've had some emotional revelation. How do I take care of myself? Am I prepared for Monday morning? Do I need to slow down and make sure that I am sipping my coffee, not gulping it, that I am giving myself extra time to get to work if that's what I need to do, so that I'm not feeling rushed and I feel like I'm emotionally not safe. I have to push and press and it doesn't feel good to me, right? Now, the trine to Saturn and Pisces that we will see as we continue out through the day Monday, and the energy will carry into Tuesday as well. But Monday is a moon day, okay? But as we see that trine, this is going to add encouragement, I think, to us. It adds encouragement to be grounded and to know that we are in alignment with our intuition and with our emotional needs as well. And Saturn's approach here is very practical. It's practical. It's like, well, slow down. If it feels like you're moving too fast, trust your intuition. Trust it. You don't need to ask, why am I moving too fast? Trust your intuition that you're moving too fast, or you really need to go in this particular direction. It brings that grounding to us that reminds us that we are creative and intuitive beings, and getting information from our intuition is as sound as keeping a regular daily schedule, right? Now, for some of you, this is a good day, I would say, if you feel drawn to, or your intuition is drawing you to a space where you're like, I want to be in the tradition. I want the Christmas songs. I want the traditional things, the traditions of my family, the traditions of my people, the traditions of fill in the blank. Or I just want something to be organized and tidy and like have a purpose and have a meaning. And, if you're feeling that, like you need that solidified energy in your life, I think that Monday is a day to really breathe that in. Now, in a practical terms, like you have to go out in the world, it's a great day to have that conversation. If you need to have a conversation with someone in your organization, you need to have conversations with your banker about creating secure foundations with your finances or something like that. Monday is the day that I would say you're able to really get that stuff done. Now, as we roll into Tuesday, we're going to have our first void of course energy of the week. And the moon is going to go void of course from what time? What time are we doing void of course? 11:33 a.m. to 4:38 p.m. And that is Mountain Colorado time. And again, if you have the digital transit calendar, it'll tell you exactly when that is in your time zone. So I highly suggest you get it. But as the moon goes void of course, it is the universe reminding us that it is okay to put down what we think is so important and has to get done right now. And rest for a second. Just tie up the loose ends. Finish. Just complete what needs to be done. Only emergencies are emergencies. I found that out. Somebody told me that. I have shared that with you guys before, but when they said, Stormy, did you know only emergencies are emergencies and there's really only about 2 emergencies? It blew my mind. And I'm an intelligent human being, but like this space where my insides are like, this really has to get done now. I really need to do this. This is really a priority. This is really important. And I think that the void of course moon time is time to go, what's the most important thing for me to do is to just put my head where my hands are right now. Where are my fingertips? What am I working on? Let me just do this. Now, after all of that deep reflective time, we've got the moon shifting into the vibration of Leo, and it's time to get a little bit expressive. We're saying it with our chest out, right? And that's how I feel about the moon in Leo energy. So we also get this space where a little bit more self-reflective, where it's like, yeah, no, I need to say this. I need to express myself. A moon in fire, if it doesn't express itself in a healthy way, especially emotionally, then it is going to breathe fire emotions onto other people. So as we see the moon come into Leo, it is going to pop right into this opposition with Pluto that has made its stand in Aquarius for the next 20 years. So first of all, as this happens, it is a lunar event, okay? So it can pop your insecurities to the surface, right? It can do it. There's some emotional pattern. You feel like your identity is threatened in some way, and it is rising these things to the surface, or you feel like somebody's telling you you don't belong, or, right? The world is changing out there. So there's a lot of that energy that's quite volatile as well. And this is an energy that you can get caught in. I would suggest a different way to align. First of all, because the moon is in fire, it will react quickly and impulsively. So if you can avoid the impulsive reaction, especially if something emotionally triggers you, right? If something pops up, you can you can take a minute so that you can respond instead of react. That's going to be really, really, very helpful. But also, it's going to be the moon is in Leo where you're like, no, you get to say what you need to say. And I also get to say what I need to say, as long as we are both being authentic and I am being respectful, then that is going to be okay, right? So it's a little bit more of these ideas and behavior patterns. This is a great example. So somebody says what they need to authentically say, you say what you need to authentically say, but then you're saying it, but being really sarcastic in a way that will cause the fire to grow. That might be an outdated behavior pattern that's not actually focused on solution. It's focused on ego and trying to get the ego to win, right? I'm going to be right. So look at that if something comes up for you here on Tuesday. Now, as we roll into Wednesday, we're going to see the sun in a square to Neptune. Okay, this can be a challenging aspect because it is a square. So we're being squished, and the square is the 911 aspect of all of our aspect. It's like, do something. We're getting squished under a square here. Okay, so as the sun is in a square to Neptune, first thing, it can bring a bit of confusion. I don't know what to do. What's happening? What's going on? What is the right decision that I need to make? What is idealistic? What is the truth? We really can square against what is the truth as this square is playing out. Now, the other thing that in it, when you're asking what is the truth, what is right, how should I handle this? It's bringing in this self-doubt. And so it can feel like I'm not grounded. I'm just not sure what is what here. And since Neptune's influence can really blur the boundaries of things, it can make it difficult for you to see what's fully going on in a situation. So on this day, if you are needing to buy something, sell something, sign a contract, I would be a little bit more cautious of that because you may not be seeing everything that is going on. There is a great energy here that is available for escapist behavior as well, right? You're like, no, I don't want to deal with that. I'm avoiding this. I really need to call the phone company and I'm avoiding it. I'm escaping the things that I need to do, right? And that is not a good coping mechanism. Okay, so what I would say is a way that you can align with this is look for the things that, first of all, you can go baby steps. Prime example. I've done it. I've absolutely done it. I need to call the phone company and I don't want to call them. So I'm avoiding it. But then it's making the story and the anxiety get higher and bigger. So instead, align by looking for some kind of grounding behavior that you can do. And for me, what that looks like is I go do something that I know how to do, and I do it confidently. I go do the dishes. I go fold the laundry. And that gives me just a little bump of, all right, call the phone company, or okay, go do the whatever. So look for a grounding thing that you could take on. Maybe it's journaling for you. If you're like, why am I avoiding this? Why do I have so much anxiety around this? Journal it down. That's totally a good way to work with that energy. Now, as we get to Thursday, we're going to see that Venus that's transiting through this vibration of Aquarius is going to be in a trine with Jupiter over in Gemini. Okay. So first of all, we've got an air trine going right now. So we're moving to the space of the intellect. Jupiter and Venus together, they are the benefics. So this is like, it's so good. It's so good. This is uplifting. This is an uplifting transit, friends. So enjoy it. Enjoy the energy. It's like a burst of optimism comes on, because the Venus and Jupiter, because they're so benefic, it's just like, wow, this is good. And you can feel like you're making connections, like your creativity has come online. I would say that Thursday is an excellent day. It is an excellent day for any kind of networking you needed to do, because these air signs are going to want to think and talk and brainstorm. So maybe you're going to a networking event, you're socializing in some kind of way. Maybe you're exploring a different way to handle things that have come up in one of your relationships, a business relationship, a parenting relationship, and your romantic relationship. Start a creative project this day. Do it. By start, I mean start a creative project with all of the old things that you already have, right? Turn those classes that you have scattered all over your files on your computer into an actual course. Sit down and take the courses that you've already purchased, right? This could be a great energy for that. For those of you who are making travel plans. Yes, Mercury is out of retrograde, and by Thursday, it's definitely picked up a bit more speed. We're not out of the post-retrograde shadow time just yet, but I would say if you're feeling particularly inspired to make some travel plans or adjustments, it's okay to do that, but just still expect that there may be a little frustration and a little bit of delay. But embrace collaboration and embrace the phone conversation with the person you're going to call to make your travel changes or whatever that looks like, okay? Now, as we are getting towards the end of the day, rolling into Friday, we're going to go all the way from 10:19 p.m. rolling to 12:36 a.m. on Saturday is where we're going to have this void of course moon. So again, if you're part of our shift workers or our people that are just naturally night owls, if you are awake at that time, the moon is void of course. So just let it fall, wind it down. Let things wind down. Let yourself just come to a space where you relax it for a minute. I don't need to make any big decisions. I'm not making any big commitments. I'm just going to let it burn until we get into Friday and we get the moon more active again. So as we do come into that Friday morning energy until we are just right there in the early morning, 12:36 a.m., we're going to see that the moon is void, of course. But just after that, when most of us will be participating when we'll be participating in the energy of the day, the moon will have shifted into Virgo. And now we're getting organized and we're earthy. So we're earthbound and organized. We are transitioning from one project to the next. We're looking at productivity. Emotionally, we need to be with how we're feeling. We need to be with the day. Earth signs need to be with how they feel so that they can feel through how they feel. This is a great day moving through the weekend where if you have to tackle a task, Virgo energy is the one to get it done. If you feel like, I don't know, I'm trying to do this, but it's not really efficient or it's not really effective, or I wish that, this had a little bit more practicality, or I want it to be really precise, not perfect, but precise. This is a great day to work with that energy and make those changes that you need to. Now, food-wise, let's talk about the food. Anything that you do that needs clean lines in your food, I think that this is an absolutely beautiful day to make that kind of food. I'm making this fig dish, okay? And it's got to come out where the figs look really pretty. They're cut right. If they're too thin, they're going to fall apart. If they're too thick, they're going to lay funky. So think about that. What has kind of like fractals detail to something you're doing or you're cooking where you can be precise with it and let the design be beautiful, let the taste be healthy, the food be clean, whatever that is. Let me know what you create. I'll post a picture in the community tab this week of my fig dessert so that you guys can see it. So share with me what you're going to be making as well in the comment section down below. Okay, rolling into Saturday. We bring the sun into Capricorn. So happy birthday, Capricorns. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Thank you for bringing our new season in. And for all of us, the Capricorn area of your chart is having its awakening at this time, like it does the same time every year. And for us as well, we're going to be in a season change. So we're coming to the solstice. Of course, if you are in the north, we're having our winter solstice, right? We're starting to bring this shift into a collective energy that's, first of all, going to be a lot more disciplined under the vibration of Capricorn, because we're going to get things organized. We have to get organized for them taxes. We have to get ready and organized for the long-term plans, for the places we need to take responsibility. It's going to be a time at the solstice as well to reflect on, first of all, where is your life at today from last solstice to this solstice? Right? Where would you like yourself to be from this solstice to the equinox? What plans and intentions are you putting in place for your future, and what kind of discipline do you need to get there? But I also think that it's even better, besides just looking at from this solstice to the next one, looking at where you have to take responsibility or just finish cleaning up and being responsible for the things that happened in the solstice or in the seasons, traveling through 2024. It's a powerful moment in general, I think, to honor the fact that we are in, yet again, another new season. It's another new turning point. We get a fresh start with some of the energies that we have. We celebrate under Capricorn the quality of resilience and persistence. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. So for those of you, I know there are many of you in our community. I see you outside of just YouTube on the internet, and I see what you're posting, your beautiful pictures of your Yule logs and your other festivals that you are sharing, and from around the globe. Share your holidays, share your seasons with us. Definitely in the comment section down below, but in the other places that we share as well. Okay, Sunday, as we are going to close out the week, we are going to see that the moon comes void. Of course, it's going to be early in the day. It's going to be, what do we got, 6:26 a.m., going all the way until noon, okay? So the moon is going to be void, of course, at that time. Again, introspection, slow it down. We're just resting. But then after that, the moon is going to shift into the vibration of Libra. So we move back to air, but we also move to a Venus-ruled energy. And this is going to bring our focus to relationships and to things being in balance emotionally. And am I in balance? Am I out of balance? Now, we're also going to see just behind that we have this last quarter moon at 1 degree of Libra. And I love this because it means you're going to be bringing a cycle that you started like 2.5 years ago to a close. It's a closing. It's a reflection. So we have a lot of that as we are here, in this week and in this particular season. Now, if there have been any lingering partnership issues that need to be addressed, this would be a great time under this energy to be able to do it. But also, let's flash back in your cycle. We're going back to September 25th of 2022. We had a new moon happening at 2 degrees of Libra. What were you planting? What seeds of intention were you planting to start something new, to put something new in motion? Maybe something around your relationships or a partnership or a contract that you wanted to bring in. Go back and look at where 2 degrees of Libra lies on your chart. What house is that? Because we started something then so that it could begin to unfold and take shape, and you committed to it in some way. Now, when we got to June 26th of 2023, we had our first quarter moon at 4 degrees of Libra, and now you're in action. What you have asked for, you're building it. You're creating a future. People, places, and things that don't match the vibration of what you're actually interested in. Projects that you don't want to do. Things you thought, this is definitely the thing, and then I'm not motivated anymore. They started to fall away because they weren't going to be able to be a part of what you were building. Now, when we got to March of 2024, this is where we had our full moon energy. So just go back, even if you can't remember all of that, go back to this March 25th of 2024, because we had the full moon lunar eclipse at 5 degrees of Libra. What was pivoting for you? What changed? Like your heart got reset. Your emotions got reset. Partnerships got reset here. And we were asked to pivot and commit to a new direction, let fall away what couldn't go with us, and make space for that next fresh start as we pivot on the journey and go forward. And now, as we're here, we are seeing this come to a close. What a beautiful thing. You built something. You changed. You requested something from the universe. It supported you and made a way for you, building it into the world. It took away the things that don't belong and left you only with the cast of characters and the cast of lessons that you still need to learn. Let's take this last quarter energy to have a celebration of completion, of closure. For some of you, it's like, okay, I've been working on it all season and that program is built. It's done. I'm ready to charge money for it, right? For some of you, it's going to be like, okay, just energetically, it's serving now. This is working. This is built. This is sustainable. This is in balance. So whatever that is for you, when you track your pattern back, let me know, what was it? What was happening for you? For me, all of this work with all of the Libra energy, especially this particular piece, was in my second house. And I tell you what, I put out there, I said, I want to build a different resource of passive income. And I also, to keep it in balance, want to show other people how to do that, right? That's what was happening in 2022. Come forward, Lagatia starts to form. Come forward, Lost to Legacy, where I'm showing creative people how to build their businesses, right? And now we're coming to closure as that program is done and is ready for the masses. So what does this look like for you? Share with me. You're building something real out there. We're not hanging out in woo-woo astroland. This is a set of energetic maps that can help us celebrate and course correct where we need to. So I hope you'll share with me in the comment section down below. All right, beautiful friends, I love you a ton. Get your astro resources to help you grow. If you're ready for a session with me, click in the description box down below, and I will see you one-on-one where we will talk about your astrology and your life. All right, check out this video next because there's some good information hiding in there, and I'll also put one more in case you are wanting to learn a new skill or deepen a technique, okay? All right, beautiful friends, I'll see you next week. Bye.